What's up, gamers? DreamcastGuy here, talking today about all these Pokemon leaks. It's been a very eventful couple months talking about this series finally coming to Nintendo Switch. However, some of this stuff that they're talking about really kind of intrigues me because it is so different. Before we get into that, let me just be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of Pokemon. It's a fantastic series, and I like that everybody seems to love it so much, but I got out of it many years ago. I played about 10 games in this series, counting Red, Blue, Yellow, the Crystal, Sapphire, Gold. I played Pokemon Stadium, Gale of Darkness. All of these were fantastic, but eventually, I just kind of got out of it. The roster of Pokemon just got too big and some of them too strange. However, from what they're saying with this new game, their biggest focus is trying to bring in new fans to the series. Some of these leaks are even making it sound like they're going to be trying to redo the combat system, the way we explore, and all sorts of tinier aspects of the game. So let's dig into it. First and foremost, I think what's really kind of interesting is it looks like the story is going to be about the giant conflict that's actually happening in Japan itself. The struggle between traditionalism and innovation, trying to stick to your roots and respect your ancestors while at the same time not being afraid to try new things. This is something that Nintendo themselves is actually working on, because for so long, it was a family company, and now we have an all-new set of people taking over every facet of it. I think that's why we're seeing so many bold and crazy new things with Nintendo Switch, is that they don't have these old guys walking around being like, nope, you can't do that. So it's interesting that the series itself is trying to tackle this interesting social issue. To go with that, though, I've also read a lot of stuff that says that they're going to make it much more open world focus. Now, when I hear that, it makes me actually picture in my mind that it's not going to be like Dark Souls or something like that, but instead, it makes me think that what we're probably going to get is an actual over-the-shoulder cam, where we see our hero walking around in the world and we can walk behind buildings or look under rocks. We'll be able to interact with stuff in new ways and see the Pokemon world in an all-new way. It looks like the setting itself has been leaked as well, and it looks like it's going to be taking place in Spain or Italy. Now, the setting doesn't really mean much to me since I haven't played a Pokemon in so long. That's not a giant deal. What is a massive, really cool thing, though, is how it talks about they're overhauling the fighting system. So, since the very beginning, this has always been kind of a quirky turn-based combat system. Two creatures being thrown into an arena, pounding each other in the face until one faints. Now, there was a lot of strategy to this because you could only carry 4 moves, and there were different elemental types. Using electric on water would kill it instantly, or fire on grass burns it up. Now, from what I'm reading, they're trying to completely redo this, and the new way they're handling it is actually kind of shocking. The notes I've stumbled across describe it like Pokken Tournament, which, if you remember, looks like this. Now, I think that what they're actually getting at is saying that it's going to be a thing where you throw your Pokemon into a fight, you're actually going to be able to move them around while in the battle, and there's going to be different moves for stuff like grabbing, hitting, or blocking. Now, I feel like that's the thing that's going to shock people the most. It's going to really kind of be the most divisive. People are either going to love it or hate it. To me personally, this is actually what's got me the most intrigued. Now, this is something that's going to piss off a lot of Pokemon fans, but I want to see a big change. I want to see the combat system completely overhauled. Let me see these new Pokemon in the new world fighting in a way I've never seen before. I want to see something crazy, crazy different. One of the things that's kind of across my desk is they're describing it sort of like the Digimon World combat system. All of this stuff is really, really crazy to me because it actually looks super fun. I've always liked the really old Pokemon games, but I'm really, really hyped for the idea of so many big changes. I mean, like one of the things I've read is the fact that it sounds like they're going to be moving away a little bit from random battles, and instead you will actually physically see Pokemon walking around in the grass or something, so you can go up and attack them and get first strike. That way, if you choose to have something like a really, really slow Pokemon that's only going to be able to cast one giant move every 10 seconds, if you manage to be sneaky enough to get that opening blow, that could one-shot somebody. Or actually being able to walk around a trainer that you're too weak to actually fight at the time. Each of these things is so cool, and it seems like they're really trying to capitalize on the fact that this is a new generation. There is one complaint I've seen, so I'm personally really, really excited for this, but diehard Pokemon fans seem to hate the idea of this new combat system. Now, it seems like they just are really against the idea of the fact that it's being overhauled, the fact that they've put 20 years into this franchise and suddenly it goes in a totally new direction. I've also seen people afraid that this will break the tournament scene. A lot of people actually compete in official Pokemon battles. These are big giant tournaments where everybody gets together, gets their strongest team of Pokemon, and fights each other until there's one person left. Those all sound exciting, but to me, I'm more worried about the moment-to-moment action. I want a combat system that's fast, fluid, and fun, and the tournament side of it doesn't cross my mind as much. And besides, let's face it, the Pokemon Company makes really, really good games. They're incredibly talented. Their stuff sells exceedingly well because it is so top-notch. So I'm not really worried about them making this new combat system and accidentally destroying the entire competitive scene in a day. They know what they're doing. If they want to try and overhaul how we get into fights, how Pokemon actually operate in battle, this stuff is still going to function just as well as it did, just in a different way. So really, to sum up my thoughts, my thing is, I think that Pokemon really, really needs this. It has an old school, ultra hardcore fan base that loves buying them, but this is a new generation. I don't just mean the fact that kids are being introduced to Pokemon for the first time, but the Switch is a completely different animal. The games we're getting on Nintendo Switch are gorgeous, giant, and absolutely freaking epic. And I think we need a Pokemon that'll fit that. Don't just give us another top-down adventure of picking up Pokemon and going on a fun little adventure. We need something that's actually going to really kind of bring people back to this amazing franchise. There's just so much room to grow. Give us a quest log. Make it where I can do side missions. Make it where I can actually keep track of so many different extra cool things. That way I'm more invested in this world. Now, even though I'm not a diehard fan of this franchise, I'm really excited to give it another shot. With the Nintendo Switch, every new series that's coming to it is getting altered in some way, whether it be the crazy worlds of Super Mario Odyssey or the giant expansive lands of Hyrule in freaking Breath of the Wild. The Switch is about innovation. The main focus of this new Pokemon is also innovation. So all the changes are extremely exciting to me. But I want to know your thoughts, and I'm being serious about this. I'm somebody who's not a Poke fan, so I want to know what the really diehard fans of this really think about it, because you are still the target demographic. You are the people they want to sell this game to, and you guys are really the important people who are going to be teaching people like me what the heck all these new Pokemon are. But seriously, thank you so much for watching this video. Give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. Did you notice I'm actually wearing my Pokemon shirt? Look at that. I still think that Charizard is one of the best Pokemon of all time. I want some of the freaking retro Pokemon back in this. Make it where if I haven't played the games in 20 years, I can still go into a map and go, yeah, I understand all this. Make it as accessible as possible so that we can all dive in and get our butts kicked by the really skilled players. Oh, hey, I was just playing a little bit of Grand Theft Auto on my Darth Vader PSP. Are you curious what I'm going to come out with next? Well, if you click this button, you'll be subscribed to be the first to know. Also, if you click over here and here, you can see my latest review and my latest top 10. I promise, it was super good. Or it was really bad and I'm sure you can just make fun of me in the comments. Either way, it'll be a lot of fun. Thanks so much for watching.